we're going to review some operations with exponents. Now there are 3 operations we can do with exponents. The first is multiplying. Second is dividing. And the third is called power to a power. So let's jump right in and let's start with multiplying. Multiplying exponents. Instead of just telling you what to do with them, we're actually going to prove it. I'm going to show you why it works. So let's look at 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd. Now, 3 to the 4th can be written, we're going to do 3 to the 4th, as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 to the 2nd can be written as 3 times 3. Now, one key fact that you must remember, very important, let's start this. The bases must be the same. This does not work if the bases are not the same. So let's count how many 3's we are. We have all 3's, so my base is 3. But how many of them do we have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 to the 6th. So if we look back at our original example here, 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd is 3 to the 6th. 4 plus 2 equals 6. So when we have multiplication of exponents with the same base, all we have to do is add the exponents. Let's look at another problem. Let's look at 9 to the 6th times 9 to the negative 4th times 9 to the negative 2nd. Now, I'm not going to put these into fractions. I'm going to work with what I have. I'm going to start by keeping my base. The bases are all the same. I'm going to keep them. I need to add my exponents. So we have 6 plus negative 4 plus negative 2. 6 plus negative 4 is positive 2 plus negative 2 equals 0. So my exponent is 0. And anything to the 0 power is, you guessed it, 1. So 9 to the 6th times 9 to the negative 4th times 9 to the negative 2 is 1. How about I give you a few problems to try on your own? Well, let's put some notes down. When multiplying exponents, we keep the base and add the powers. Remember, we can interchange the word power and exponents. And the base has to be the same. How about some problems to practice on your own? Let's look at 8 to the 3rd times 8 to the 6th. Put your answer in the box that appears. Number 2 will be 0.5 to the negative 3rd times 0.5 to the negative 8. Again, when the box appears, put your answer into it. And finally, let's do 6 to the negative 3rd times 6 to the 2nd times 6 to the 6th. Again, put your answer in the box when it appears. So that's our multiplication. Next, we have division of exponents. So again, let's look at a problem. 4 to the 5th divided, remember the fraction bar means division, 4 to the 3rd. Well, if we write this out, it's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 over 4 times 4 times 4. Now, remember, the base has to be the same. With all of these operations, the base is always the same. Well, I don't know if you remember, but way back when, we could cancel things out if it was on the top and the bottom. They simplify down to 1. So, these 4's cancel out, these 4's cancel out, and these 4's cancel out. So how many 4's do I have left? Let's see. I have 4's, and I have 1, 2, 2 4's. So 4 to the 5th divided by 4 to the 3rd is 4 to the 2nd. In case you couldn't see, we basically just subtracted the exponents. 5 minus 3 equals 2. Let's look at another example to help us make sense of this. Let's look at 7 squared, or 7 to the 2nd power, over 7 to the, let's do 5th power. And let's write this out. 7 times 7 over 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Oh, there we go. Again, let's cancel them out. So when I cancel out, when I have nothing left on top, what's really there? We're not just getting rid of them. We're simplifying them down to 1. So my new, how many? So I have a 1 over 7 to the 3rd, which is the same as 7 to the negative 3. Again, because when I subtract my exponents, it's 2 minus 5 equals negative 3. Now you don't have to do the proofs. That's what these are. This is a proof, and this is a proof for all the problems. You can just write your answers. That would be totally acceptable. You don't have to prove it to me unless I ask you to. So how about I give you a few problems to try on your own, and then we'll move on to the next step. We're on problem number 4, I believe. Whoops, let's do this in black. Keep it all nice and uniform. Let's do 5 to the 9th over 5 to the 2nd. Write your answer in the box when it appears. Number 5, let's do 3 squared over 3 to the 5th. And when the box appears, put your answer into it. And let's do a little bit of a challenge one. Let's see if you can get this. Let's do 2 to the 2nd times 2 to the 3rd over 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 2nd. Don't freak out about it. Take your time, work through it, see if you can figure it out. I believe you can. Okay, last thing is a power to a power. Now, what does this even look like? Well, a power to a power basically is when you have an exponent raised to another exponent. So here I have 5 to the 2nd raised to the third power. 5 to the second to the third power. Well, let's write this out and see what this really means. So, 5 squared to the third means I have 5 squared times 5 squared times 5 squared. But 5 squared is the same as 5 times 5. So I really have 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Well, how many 5s do I have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which can be written as 5 to the 6th. Going to give you a moment here. How can I get 2 and 3 to equal 6? What operation? That's right, we multiplied it. 2 times 3 equals 6. So whenever I have a power to a power, I just have to multiply my exponents. A power to a power, I multiply the exponents. Let's try one more. Let's do 2 to the 4th to the negative 2. Again, we're going to multiply. I'm going to keep my base. Base is 2. And now I'm going to multiply. 4 times negative 2, which equals negative 8. So 2 to the negative 8, or I can write it as 1 over 2 to the 8th, because I can convert that negative exponent into a fraction. But you don't have to. I'll accept this unless I ask you to simplify fully. This is fully evaluated. Actually, yep, fully evaluated. Let's do some practice problems on your own. I believe we're on number 7. Let's do 8 to the 4th to the 7th. Then write your answer in the box when it appears. Number 8. Let's do 3 to the 5th to the 10th. Answer in the box when it appears. And finally, number 9. 2 to, let's go crazy, 100th to the negative 5. Okay, answer in the box. Good luck. Hope you have all these notes down. If not, after you're done watching and everything, rewind it, review it, and take your notes again. See you tomorrow in class. Have a good night.